Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Then and Now podcast. I'm your co-host, Cap the Diesel, and I am joined with Professor E, King of the Comics, Ethan Murphy, and Luce V, aka the Big Black Muffin. This is the Then and Now podcast. How y'all doing, brothers? Hey, we standing out, man. So that's a good thing. Professor E.
I'm I'm doing pretty good, man. I got my went to Fat Burger, got myself a big old burger, and as I got there, the young lady there, she quoted me a price over the phone when I called in the order. Then when she saw me, I said, "Hey, how you doing, Michelle?" It was a sweet little girl I seen there before. She goes, "Hey, how you doing?" Hit the discount button, gave me a discount on the burger. I said, "Yo, okay, I don't mind if I do." So I'll take that
Well, that's how I know
every
you be
day.
you be eating them fat burgers, boy. They give you discounts like that on the pull up. See, I'm trying
Yes,
to do better
100%.
because this Thursday I'm about to annihilate these plates in my grandma's house. I'm like, let me try to eat a little bit healthy throughout this week and get myself together. I just lost 40 pounds. I don't need to put 40 back on in 2 days. 'Cause best believe
Fair.
Thursday, the plates will be demolished Thursday. Best believe. The yams and the mac and cheese come out, it's over with. I called my grandma today and told her, hey, I don't care what else is right on this plate. As long as them yams and mac and cheese is good, I'm good.
Those are two least favorite things.
I mean, you hate
That's
puppies and
right.
rainbows too, so that didn't surprise me.
I mean,
Yes,
I
I
like
forgot
both
to
of
go to taste
those.
that.
Man. But y'all that are watching, we're gonna get into it. Y'all, today we are here to discuss a show that we have not talked about on this podcast yet. I think we've discussed it on the Captain's Lounge briefly with me and Ethan, but Welcome to Derry is now on episode 5, I believe this released yesterday or the day before. Um we're going to talk about this show. This is a series for people that are unaware that is a prequel series to the It films. And I kind of love the way they're doing this because each season, the next 2 seasons are going to each go back another 27 years prior. So we're going to go back further and further until we get to like near, I guess, the origins of Pennywise's debut, which I'm curious as to how that's going to work because, things we'll get into during this podcast. But let's go over general thoughts because what I don't want to do is spoil anything just because of the fact that this show is not finished yet. So we'll say spoiler thoughts and reviews for when each show is finished, and we can come back and give our complete thoughts. But we can give some thoughts on the show itself and some general things here. Otis, we'll start
Wait,
with you because
so
I know that you did not have the most kind thoughts about the first episode, at least.
I mentioned the post on Facebook after the first episode dropped. Like, first episode was kind of slowly paced. I thought it was going to be a little bit scarier than it actually turned out being, and almost dropped the episode until dropped the series until we got to the end of the episode, and they just they pulled a Invincible basically. And I like when shows do that, so it caught me on for a bit. But since then, it's been pretty tame, honestly. So I don't know. I still have mixed feelings about it, but I don't think it's bad. I definitely will plan to continue it until we get to the end of the season.
Professor E?
So obviously we're 5 episodes deep. Are we not discussing anything in the episodes? Like I mean, like spoilers
No
free
spoilers. You can
entirely?
discuss some points and things, but as long as it won't be a spoiler for the episode.
Okay. Uh, okay,
Well, you
try
know
to do
what? You
this
know
then.
what? You just fuck you. We can give spoilers at this point. I feel like New
Yeah,
Rock
it
Stars
is
is
spoilers.
giving all the fucking. Go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
So if you want, I guess what we can do is have like we can, like you said, give our general points off tops, and then say, by the way, now we're getting the spoiler section. Here we go. You ready for it? So off tops, I will
Plus,
say that
yeah,
I did.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, my general points off tops because I taught you better, Dev. You and I both saw it as it was coming out. I think we were discussing
Mm.
it as it was coming out. I dug the first episode. Yeah, it did hit like a. It was weird. The beginning was very much kind of interesting the way they handled it. The very beginning of the episode was very interesting. Then in the middle of the episode is kind of odd. It's much of a slower pace, but it does go. It does. Otis had a good comparison by saying it's like Invincible as far as like what you think this show is going to be about, the way this show is going to be set up. No, you are very, very wrong. Surprise! And it's like, oh my god, it is. So from that point on, it's like, okay, I was very much invested. And then for me though, the second episode is where I got really, really, balls deep into it because there's a part where one of the characters who was kind of sidelined for the most part in the first episode takes center stage more in the second episode, and then seeing what her worst fear is brought to life, I was like, oh my god, I chef's kiss that one. So it's I feel like the show is finding its footing more with more likable characters after the first episode.
Yeah. I agree with those sentiments as well. I think the biggest thing that the show is doing well that may be a turnoff for a lot of people that are probably maybe more of a casual audience in regards to this universe and this particular character being Pennywise is that they are definitely taking their time with showcasing him, or at least they did, with showcasing the clown in his full effect, but really trying to dive into every aspect of this entity being, I guess, I can't remember what they called it before, like what his actual celestial name is, but they're showing all the full facets of him that I think we didn't get to see in the actual movies, because I think the movies were so focused on the clown and the killer clown aspect of him. We saw him turn into like a few other things to mess with the kids, but for the most part, it was just the clown. And this, they're showing that this thing operates very much similar to like a boggart from Harry Potter, to where it's going to show you your worst fear right in front of you, and it's going to terrify you in that fashion, and then eat you alive. So the fact that we're getting to see people's worst fears.
Who's scared of a rolling lamp? Like who thinks that, like,
I mean, if I were to show you any of the antique furniture made out of black skin and hair, I'm pretty sure you'd be like, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, the kid literally states that he was, because it's not the lamp as much as it is having skin from living
They're
people.
his ancestors.
His
from
ancestors. Yeah, that was literally, that actually genuinely really was used. The Nazis, spoiler alert, used actual skin from the people they were gassing and everything else in those camps, and then that having that skin on the lamps is what scared the kid.
George Washington was using his slaves' teeth. He's not in horror movies
that you know of. He's in a couple.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind this is a 7-year-old child. As far as being a 7-year-old Jewish child, you probably aren't the most informed on genocide and the more fucked up things of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I get where it's coming from.
This is in 1960. Yeah, this is the 1960s.
Yeah. It's different.
Because I think even before that happened, that was the first time he heard about like the lamps that Jewish people were made into, and he was like, "What the fuck? They do that?" He's like, "Yeah, they did that." That, and even some of the, and then, at least for me, I enjoyed those things so much more because I knew most of those things were practical, and I love the horror aspects, but I really geek out on how these people, these special effect makeup artists, can make these really weird, crazy looking things from just like regular shit you find around. Shout out to our homegirl Danny and her doing that back in the day. But I think my favorite one so far was the I guess mother, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
That was like crazy how they did that, because it was crazy. It looked fucking spectacular, and I enjoyed that. But I'll say all that to say, because I lost my train of thought for a second, but I love that they're taking their time with this thing. It's very much so a lot slower paced, but I think because it's slower paced, when moments do jar you, at least for me, they jar you a little bit harder, because you're getting lulled to sleep a little bit. But again, this is also, I think, a show for, this doesn't feel like a show for the casual audience to me. I think this show really much so doubles down on so much of the lore, and it's also expanding not just the lore of this character, but like all of Stephen King stuff. Because one thing we're going to do in this series is, after this, they're going to expand out into more of the Stephen King universe stuff. When you're looking at The Shine, going back into The Shining, with us seeing Dick Halloran in this, and it seems as though they're moving into one of Ethan's favorite movies with Shawshank as well, as Shawshank Redemption. It seems like they're really planning to open up this potential show into like an expanded Stephen King cinematic universe, which doesn't surprise me, because he's been getting like all his shit adapted into movies and shows over the last year. Like between this, The Long Walk, The Running Man that just came out, a Carrie movie that just got done filming with Mike Flanagan. Yeah, this one.
Another Firestarter last. Wasn't the other Firestarter with Zac Efron last year too? Just had last year.
I think so as well. Yeah. Mike Flanagan's doing a Carrie though, so I'm lit for it. Again, so far for me, Mike Flanagan's done no wrong in horror. Yeah, they're just doing so much. Like, I'm pretty sure Stephen King is getting a fucking bag, because all his shit is getting adapted, and for the most part, most of his shit that's been adapted has been received pretty well. I'm trying to, like, maybe the Firestarter didn't get received as well, but at least this year in particular, everything that's been put out based on his works have been getting rave reviews, from The Long Walk and The Running Man. Honestly, The Running Man, it's up there. It's one of the better movies of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously there's some because it's funny with Running Man. Is I mean, we're getting off topic, but with Running Man, it's odd because it had our boy Edgar Wright, who has done. I know Otis doesn't love most of his stuff, but Edgar Wright is known for having a very unique style. All of us do, like Baby Driver.
I
We
mean, he liked
appreciate Scott
Scott
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, Otis, yeah, he did, yeah. He's right there. We're talking about he was here, but yeah. So Edgar Wright did do Scott
What
Pilgrim, which we all do and appreciate Scott Pilgrim. We all do like Baby Driver, but he has a very distinct style.
Hmm.
So when he did Running Man, it felt like it wasn't quite Edgar Wright's movie necessarily, but it still was a well done movie all the same.
I disagree, but I can see your point though.
Yeah, I mean,
You have something to say, Otis?
I liked it. It's different.
I'm trying to think of the rest of the projects from Edgar Wright. But if he's like Evil Dead, then well, no, that's not him.
I think he did Shaun. He did Shaun of the Dead, I think, right?
Oh God, he did.
Yeah, he did the Cornetto trilogy. So it's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and then This Is the End. But they
he did some movie that you enjoy and some movie that you absolutely hate too. So he's kind of, I feel like he's bad 50-50 for you.
Probably 50-50 for us.
That's better than most.
Right. Oh, but yeah,
going back to the actual series, the B story I've honestly enjoyed more than kind of the A. Like seeing the experience of these black soldiers within the military hunting for whatever it is that it is. Like I enjoy that significantly more than any of the scenes with the kids.
Yeah,
I can't say so. Well, granted, part of it is a personal thing with me because I feel like I've just experienced a lot of the shit that they're going through is just stories that I've heard from my granddad all the time growing up in regards to how black soldiers were perceived in the military, especially in the army. So I can see that. I can see that. Personally, for me, though, I feel like I've just enjoyed the performances of the kids a lot better. I think the only person I really enjoyed, maybe as much, if not more than the kids, maybe the Dick Halloran's performance or that particular actor, because I'm really interested to see where they're going to take his story next. Because I know that they're essentially rewriting some of the story because he is supposed to die. Not too long after this in like the Shining movie, but the way they're structuring it is that he's going to live, so they can do like another spinoff with him. Which even then for people, because a lot of this is also based off of the It book. It's like some of the material that was mentioned in the book that was never really adapted in the actual series or the movies. So some of the stuff we understand is going to happen. Like we know Dick's not going to die. We know he's going to live through the end of the season. But I'm excited to see where they take this, especially with the fact that they're going to go back further and further in more seasons. I want to see like, okay, are we going to go into the Dark Tower at some point potentially? Are we going to go into other universe stuff? Because I don't know if you guys are aware how this thing's working, but the Stephen King book universe is so fucking weird because it's essentially like this multiverse that's like based around I think the key book that like ties everything together is the Dark Tower series.
Yeah.
It's really weird how it's set up. I don't understand quite how he set that shit up, but I know it's pretty expansive and all his things are pretty much in. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of Screen Boy a little bit. For people that aren't aware of that, it's like one of the comics that Ethan's written where there are different movies and different universes that this character jumps into. They're just like different little pocket dimensions that have things like Carrie or Cujo or whatever it may be in those dimensions, and some of them have the ability to cross over and come into the main like Nexus area where the Dark Towers are.
Yeah, that's what basically nice comparison with Screen Boy. That's basically what it is for those who haven't read I think Dark Tower actually is a comic series and a book series. But for Dark Tower, it is the tower itself. That's basically like the nexus point where everything, like that whole story with the gunslinger and the Dark Man, the way they're handling stuff. So yeah, that is basically the idea. They are very much the epicenter of the world. It's based around that one tower, so to speak. And I get what you're saying though. Both of y'all are saying. For me, Dick Halloran is as soon as because they don't say his name until the second episode, I believe. That's Dick Halloran. That's young Dick Halloran right there, and I love that actor. He was in that person who's playing Dick Halloran was in the Perry Mason series on HBO also. And I love that dude. He's a really good actor, and the way he's portraying Dick Halloran as far as seeing how using the Shining essentially that power, how it takes a toll on somebody, how it is like it's not just a blessing; it really is painful. For those who have seen Dr. Sleep, how our boy Danny Torrance was basically effed up for life after using that power. So it's cool to see in this world how like if you have the gift / curse of the Shining, and you're going up against someone like Pennywise, or the spirit that becomes Pennywise, essentially, how it's not really, it's rough being able to have that kind of peering through the veil at that kind of a beast, a kind of a creature. So I did love his performance a lot. But I did feel the kids, you're right though, Deb, the kids, I don't know where they're finding these kids, man. These kids are like doing stuff. They are doing stuff, and these like the Lily having to portray being psychologically damaged, seeing our girl Veronica literally trying to have her mom re-ingest her into her womb, and her being like shocked beyond reason. That is, I was impressed.
Do you guys feel like children actors were this good when you guys were growing up? Because I feel like when I watched a lot of older movies, I don't remember kid actors ever being this polished. When I'm looking at these kids, or like the kids from the Stranger Things series, or even the kids from the original It movies, it's just like they're just ridiculously polished.
No, Ron was solid. The other girl was kind of waxing me. I'm not going to tell you. Like,
which one?
I can't remember the
Lily?
white girl that was Lily.
The glasses?
Lily.
No, not the glasses.
The one that was waiting out of Juniper.
No, the
Juniper Hills.
main character girl. Is that her name?
Yeah, her name's Lily.
Her name's Lily. Yeah.
Yeah, like the one that was in the insane asylum for like 15 seconds again.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Is I'm pretty sure they're gonna make her like a big, because I thought initially she was gonna be another like bait switch, how they were with like the initial boys in the first episode. But once I saw that she had the turtle charm on her race, I'm like, oh yeah, they're about to make her the main character. She's not dying in this series.
Yeah, they made her stronger. Yeah, but also, I mean, she did survive. She survived the Since we are dealing with spoilers, she survived the invincible scene at the end of episode 1. So kind of like she's a bit of plot armor on her as it is. Yeah.
Also, keep in mind some of these characters that you're seeing are also like they're going to be in the future It movies, like the black boy. Like we see. I'm pretty sure we see him specific. No, we see his dad is the one, his granddad, or no, I think it's him. It's in the future movie.
It's Will. The kid, the black boy Will. He's the dad of Mike in the upcoming series. 27. He's the dad. A spoiler alert for him, though. We see what happens to his demise as far as he gets burned alive in that house fire. But yeah,
that was his granddad. So in the It movie, Mike's parents got burned in the fire, and he was living with his granddad.
Yeah. So the kid Will is Mike's dad, and he dies in the fire.
No, that's he's Mike's grandfather.
Well, think about the time. Right?
The guy
now.
that
this is 27 years from the movies. So are you saying that kid 27 years later is a grandfather of Mike?
I'm pretty sure. If I'm trying to remember this correct. Well, no way. You may be right. No way. You're right. Because he's only like what, like 11, 12 maybe at this point. Yeah. So yeah, he wouldn't be that. So yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, what threw me off was the episode where he was like burning, like Mike was not Mike, but the son Will was seeing his dad on fire. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, he's the one I got thrown off there.
I see what you're saying.
But to Otis's point, I know we're getting off tangent, but to get back to Otis's point, the performances from her, that Lily in particular, I kind of agree with him. She hasn't been the best, but I think that's just tough because it's not that she's doing a bad job, it's that everybody around her is doing better than her, where it's like you're kind of just getting washed out. But I also feel like they're going to give her more to work with in the future because she's getting that main character. Again, because she had that turtle charm, it's already a wrap.
Yeah. I mean, I see what I definitely see where you're coming from. She's not distracting or bad to me in particular, but I also, because I watched the behind the scenes, so I see how these kids actually are in real life. It's like, oh, you're completely different than in real life. So they actually are acting, but I get that on screen they may not seem the most, like obviously the most overwhelmingly incredible actors. It's not distracting to me. I mean, I believe it. I believe when that girl is like freaking out that she's seeing a jar.
Or her dad in the store.
Yeah, I'm like, I believe that she's freaking out. I believe that she's having a full blown breakdown. Yeah. Or she's having to deal with seeing her friend like cut her eyeballs off with the
that was gnarly.
With the buzzsaw. When she freaks out, like, yeah, I believe that she's dealing with extreme, horrible.
Which there's no way she got away from that situation for only having a few scars on her eyelid. You telling me you were putting your face by a bus, like a table saw, and then you were like trying to stab your own eye? How do you only get away with a few? No damage to the eyeball at all. Just the eyelid. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm saying is Itachi is more efficient with that. The Tsukuyomi would have had him down one good time. We wouldn't have had to even go back to putting
Is
him
he?
in multiple. Yeah.
Have we seen him kill anybody with that though?
Don't know.
Or even in the light
on
novels?
screen? On screen, no, we haven't.
I don't think he's killed anybody in the light novels with that though.
I don't think so.
He really just be fucking with people with the Tsukuyomi. He never really kills anybody with that.
I mean, he put with help from Shisui and Madara, he put the entire Uchiha clan under his Tsukuyomi and wiped them all out.
I don't think he used the Tsukuyomi to kill all those other people, right? To my knowledge, he just was outright stabbing them and like killing them because he was faster. And
but he used Tsukuyomi to
he got a few of them with it.
Yeah.
A few of them, yeah. But it was more so him stabbing them after like kind of immobilizing them.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's more efficient. Catch him with the genjutsu, take him out. It's done.
I guess.
But getting balls deep into Naruto.
Y'all know how we get into it.
More. I think one thing we are highlighting one other thing too, as far as we're kind of glazing over it. This is a fun, not fun, but it's interesting to see the scope of things because there are adults involved. We mentioned, of course, Dick Halloran, but also Will's dad, who has the dopest power. He has a damaged amygdala, therefore he literally doesn't feel fear.
Which
Will's mom,
I also call Capo on sometimes because I feel like we actively see him like embody fear in the most recent episode, especially when he like got face to face with Pennywise.
But so it's a weird scenario, yeah. Because I'm trying to. I think they try to explain the idea that it's a difference between fear and concern, but it's like I don't know, it's weird. I don't know how it works honestly, but it's still an interesting idea as far as seeing these characters. Because essentially, usually in the It universe, you're seeing kids dealing with Pennywise, and the adults are almost unaware of his existence for the most part. This show actually shows it's very much showing the adults very concerned and aware, and very aware of him and how they're trying to deal with him too. So it's kind of interesting, and also seeing how they get really played by Pennywise. So it's just interesting to see how it's done.
Also feel like before now he's never really shown himself to adults until obviously we saw him do it with the older Losers Club initially, but before then we never really saw him because he would like fuck with kids and then the parents would come into the room and he'd be gone, but we never really saw him like in this. He's honestly a lot more bold at this point, which is interesting to me because he's legit like even transforming into other people and I think I've seen like a theory that like the nurse is also like another version of him that that's friends with Lily that's like being kind of. So I'm like, if he's just like morphing into random, or we know that he was the butcher at one point as well. Like he's just morphing into random people in public and just really brazen versus later on he's just like only focused on the kids.
Well, I mean, also spoiler alert: Maddie. He turned into Maddie for like half the episode. The kid. So I'm sorry. What you say, Otis?
I was saying like the meme is going rampant, but it's really saying that the Losers Club had him on easy mode because. Literally,
I don't understand how they got away looking at this shit. I ain't gonna hold you, because he let them not only like get away, but then they came back and survived after they already beat you one time.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, also the Losers Club didn't have that magic kryptonite to save their ass. Like I mean, old girl literally stumbled upon like the last like. The greatest Deus Ex Machina to save
plot armor, like fuck.
Yeah, so the way, yeah. I know in the book they have a whole ritual and everything, but as far as the movie, it's a different scenario.
That shit was so funny to me. It's like, this one weapon can stop him, and we're just gonna conveniently put it in the sword. It's gonna drop right in front of her. Like, I'm like, how the hell did this get? I understand if we're in a sewer moving water, but how the fuck did this thing get from here all the way to here and he didn't notice it? Especially if it's glowing underwater.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I think I love that we're finally getting to more of his lore. Because for people that didn't read the books or that maybe I think they touched upon the aspect of the cosmic turtle in the TV series, but it makes me even more irritated a little bit when I look back at the origins, knowing that this Pennywise is essentially the devil for the most part in this universe, where like. The only two things that existed was this cosmic turtle and him, and he somehow can't just like easily kill these kids. And this turtle is just like, I ain't gonna help y'all, but I'll tell y'all what to do real quick. Yeah, I can fuck them up. I'm like, damn, y'all some really lazy celestial bodies. I don't understand. Plot armor is saving these kids.
Yeah.
Plot armor, like the Losers
Yeah.
Club should not have made it
That was
out.
an asshole.
What's the difference
Yeah,
between
yeah,
the
the
Losers
girl-
Club
the
and the
girl ain't do
kids at the
shit.
beginning of the show?
Well, there's one theory that multiple people in the Losers Club had the shine. They're talking about how Beverly had the shine, which is why
Beverly
he was so
definitely did.
connected to her specifically. Because
Yeah,
right
but
now,
also
I
she
don't
chooses
think
to
any of
slay
the
it.
other
In the book, it's supposed to be
kids.
slays him. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of the kids in this particular gathering has the shine, to my knowledge.
No, I mean, obviously, it doesn't seem that way at all. I mean, it seems like you said the plot armor on Lily is something different, but as far as a full
Yeah,
blown
she just
shine, no one really has the shine. It seems Beverly did, but that's it.
and even then, I don't think she was like using it to like carry capacities where she's like a super telekinetic. Which
No, she
I'm
was
honestly
much
interested
more.
now that we know they're going to expand things. I'm like, are we going to see more of these characters in like the movies, like the upcoming Carrie movie? Are we going to see any characters pop up? Especially knowing that like all these things are just the shine now. Like all these powers like are all stemming from the same thing for the most part. If you have the shine, you can be a telekinetic, a telepath, a pyrokinetic. You can do all these crazy shits. So I'm like, I don't know, it'd be cool. Like they're doing this, they're like mini MCU, DCU type of thing where they're just like jumping people in and out of movies and shows. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, because they established too in a way that the gunslinger in the Dark Tower has the shining. His shining gives him the ability to fire the gun so well. That's how it works for him. It's
Mm-hmm.
differently. So it's similar ideas. Um, I don't know because obviously Stephen King already wrote it in his books for years and years, essentially connecting dots to the universe. It was already established for him. So I don't know if he's going to do that, but and I'm here for it if he does.
Looking forward to seeing exactly how they try it. Because, I mean, he's got just so much work that's been, turned into film at this point in time. Like, seeing how they try to connect some of the older ones to some of the newer ones, it's interesting. I mean,
The other
who
thing
else
is,
Yeah.
I think it's okay. I think remaking his stuff at this point is safe. Usually, I'm like remakes are kind of rub me the wrong way, especially with something like fucking Moana, where the movie's only been out for 7 years and we're already getting a live action adaptation. But if we're doing a remake of something like the Pet Cemetery or like movies that came out during the 70s, I'm like, okay, I think it's safe to readapt this for a newer generation now. This movie that's been around for a shit ton of time, especially if you're gonna like interweave them and change some things. I think that's been the best thing I loved about this show so far is that they've taken a few creative liberties and changed some things about the story to better fit what they're trying to do. It's not just one for one regurgitating the stuff that's in the books.
No, well, what's funny too because obviously they're using the. I'm sorry, Sodas.
I was going to say, I always think that's what turns out the best.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah, because also they have it where a lot of the stuff in this show was like a footnote in the original book as far as highlighting certain ideas or events or characters from the 27 years in the past. So they're not completely out of nowhere. They actually have some stuff they're pulling from directly, which kind of makes it kind of interesting. Obviously, I don't believe Dick Halloran was mentioned at all in the book, but obviously Dick Halloran is a
He was
major
mentioned.
character in Shining and Doctor Sleep. He was mentioned.
He was
Okay.
mentioned.
He was mentioned.
He just wasn't a major part. It was like mentioned briefly. It was one of those like cameo things for like, oh yeah, he was here. He hung out. Then he left.
Oh. Yeah, he was here on Tuesday. They left Wednesday morning. Yeah, but obviously Dick Halloran's such a pop, such an iconic kind of character. So yeah, it's cool, man. But I think it does work as far as connecting the whole. It does feel because obviously Derry and other places in the books, it's meant to be in the same world. It's meant to be. He wrote it that way essentially, so it stands reason.
Now, as much as I enjoy this show, I'm really concerned with how they're going to push this into prior seasons because I feel like one of the benefits of this show is that we waited a long time to actually see Pennywise, so we didn't like the gimmick of seeing the killer clown didn't get old really fast. But once we've actually seen him now, like what does a season 2 even look like? Because at this point now we've gone through 2 to 3 movies, and then this season of the show where we've seen Pennywise in his full glory. And then now we've seen 2 different iterations of ways they used to like beat him from the native, like even going back to like the OG natives that like defeated him and trapped him. What else can you really do? Like you're alluding to other events. Like I think we even see it in the opening credits. If you watch that little animation, they're showing you all the major murder events that he causes before he goes into hibernation. And if you wanted to go through each one of those, cool. But how do you build that up to be intimidating each season?
Yeah,
I think I feel like it'd be
especially since
tough to write.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a real good point, actually. Yeah,
This show
I
isn't
don't. Yeah,
scary. Like this,
You got it. Yeah, you got it. You got it. I think there are moments. There are
it's a
legit moments where I was like creeped out. A lot of it, again, a lot of it is the issue of me watching so much stuff to where I can predict when scares or when things are going to come. There were like a few moments where I think honestly the moments that got me were the moments to where I would see people that were obviously Pennywise in disguise that would be like doing or be around in certain areas out of like an awkward positioning. And I wouldn't
yeah.
expect it because I don't expect Pennywise to shapeshift into like regular people and just be around.
It just
Those would
chill.
get me.
Yeah,
But to Otis's point, again, I think I'd be really happy to watch this from a lens of somebody who's like a super casual to see how it would affect me versus someone who's attempted to traumatize myself by watching the worst and scariest horror movies possible. And now I'm kind of just desensitized.
she was kind of like she was more afraid watching, Wild House of Usher than this.
but so the
I
part of
think
it
she
is
can,
too.
but
Obviously, the bigger building blocks or tenets of horror are mystery and the unknown, right? Like
mm-hmm.
kind of with this because we already went into, like, as you were saying before, Charlie, we were going into this having seen those two movies and the miniseries for the most part, having that some understanding of that, which is obviously why the Michiettes held back on showing Pennywise as a clown until the fifth episode at all, because we already know those things. They had kind of try to find a way to surprise us on some level, and then once he was revealed in the fifth episode, it was actually, by the way, we give you a full red herring for half the episode with using Maddie, and the surprise is he played y'all. He was actually this kid the entire time and lured you here. So Pennywise himself isn't, like, you're right, Otis. He's not exactly scary anymore because we know on some level we kind of know him and expect him. Same thing as Freddy. Once you get to movie number 3 in Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy ain't scary no more. It's you know this guy. He's popping out with jokes. So
Mm-hmm.
you do lose some of the charm of the scare once the villain becomes too commonplace. If they had to find some way to kind of surprise you with him or do something different with him for it to work. What I do appreciate about this show, though, is they went full like monster mode with monsters from the manga and anime, where Johan, I think, shows up in 7 episodes out of the entire series. Period. In the same way with this, you don't really see Pennywise proper that much at all, but they keep
Mm-hmm.
teasing him. You see the pictures of him from a distance, or you see a clown-shaped object in the woods, but they don't
Or his
show
effect on
Pennywise
people.
proper. Yeah, and so they kind of build him up as much as they can for as long as they can. Then finally do reveal him later on. So
And I will be fair. To be fair, this is one of those things we only really do at horror because we never really have the critique for like action. Like we have how many John Wick movies that we were like, well, how many times can he just kill a group of people? We just want to see John Wick do John Wick shit.
right,
Comedy is kind of a similar way where we kind of know, or rom-coms, we already know what the plot line, what the story beats are. Horror is usually held to a higher standard within movies, in my opinion. And it's like we have to just find crazy ways to reinvent stuff, or people will call it not scary or whatever. People are very opinionated when it comes to horror as a whole. But a lot of my issues that I have with it, I do feel like are from a privileged aspect of somebody that's just watched a lot of not just horror movies, but shows, anime. Like we reviewed a lot of story-based content, so we just know a lot of the story beats and like before things actually happen, we can usually like chart out what the plot of this season is going to be way ahead of time because we've seen so many things like this. Versus like the casual watcher who's not paying attention to those things, let alone talking about them. I think they can watch these things and enjoy these things a lot more because they don't have any kind of expectations or know what to expect. It's just you're 100% in the moment.
I still
yeah,
just like it. It just like it hasn't like shown me anything that really grabbed my attention. Like I said, like the end of the first episode was solid, and even that, like, I like wipe out the whole crew. Like, why stop and leave too? I mean, that's just
Gotta get them
me.
more scared, man. Gotta pepper them up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
seize them up.
take out
Now
the
that is
whole
that. Go
take out
ahead.
the whole group. find another batch, torture them, find out more of the story through their torture. You know, keep the soldier story as the B story. Well, really the A story, but it's the B story. Like that's how I would do this. But I don't think what they've done is bad. Like it's nothing that I would like stop watching. I don't think it's like, you know, badly executed. I do have my gripes against it, but I don't think it's a horribly crafted show. It's just that it's not like I'm not watching this and like damn like, but like I'm watching like the Mighty Nine on Amazon. I'm just wowed by the first 3 episodes. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we need to more so look at the not full on POV of Pennywise, but like sit with that particular thing more. If we're going to be scared about the idea of him being shown too much, I think actually like maybe sitting on him and some of these kills a lot more would work. Like the fact that he killed all these kids and we saw most of that off screen. And then we find out, well, maybe through like the Pennywise Billy that was it Billy? I can't remember the kid's name. We find out that the kid that he transformed into, that he lets us know, like,
man.
oh, they didn't all die. They didn't all die right away. Like he dragged some of them down there and ate them piece by piece. I think seeing some of that gore maybe, or maybe seeing these kids get ripped apart again, although it may be more brutal, I think it's something that we haven't seen thus far, and it could be a little bit more interesting for at least one more season. Now, them talking about going into like season 3, I don't know how that would work, but that'd be my biggest like way of adding something fresh to the spin on the Pennywise character, because at this point, again, Bill Skarsgård has an amazing performance as this character. He channels the character really well, but I just don't know how you write plot for this character that's this broken without things starting to kind of feel disingenuous. That's why like I'm low-key tired of. I posted though. I shared like one thing today where people keep trying to put Pennywise in like versus battles. I'm like, bro, this is a literal immortal celestial being who is like one of the first things to ever exist. Why are you putting him in fights with a regular demon or this mutant from hell? I don't understand why we're doing that.
I saw that post was against Vecna. Yeah,
I'm like, Vecna's getting washed.
Oh yeah, Vecna's getting watched.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
Getting beaten by 11-year-olds. But like, you know, you put him against Sukuna, it was like,
I don't even think Sukuna does shit to Pennywise. No, it's not even. It's not. At least on paper, it shouldn't be a conversation. First off, one's immortal. Let's start there. Let's think of Pennywise as an immortal being. He gets beat through plot armor where they like push him down into into his prison that for whatever reason he can never. As much as he manipulates people, you would think he would manipulate the people to like unrelease him from his barrier, especially if we know the only thing keeping him there is the buried pieces of his comet, I guess he flew in on. Again, a lot of the things that beat him are plot armor based, because realistically speaking, he should not lose to anyone that we've seen thus far.
But that's my question. The prison, essentially, obviously, the native people made the prison around that forest to contain him, using shards from his actual the comet he fell in, right? So how is Pennywise out? It seems like Pennywise is clearly leaving the bounds of his prison to do so, to mess with people. How is he able to do that? Like I'm confused.
He's not leaving. He's not leaving his bounds.
It's like astral projection, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's not leaving because keep in mind his prison is like the entire city of Derry itself, like and everything within his confines. Oh, like he's not just trapped into the sewer. Like
so, Derry was built in essentially in the entirety. Derry is inside that entire boundary that was built. Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's like picture like LA, right? LA isn't just like the inner like downtown LA. It's like everything surrounding it. Or like even I don't know if you have like woods anywhere near LA or whatever it may be, but maybe really. I'm trying to think about Atlanta. I would say is comparison, but I don't know how often you've been to Atlanta. But like there's like the inner city of Atlanta, then there's like all the like areas around it. Like the entire city is his domain essentially. And literally the only reason that he gets so for to put it into context, he had to like cut his power essentially in half to go to Earth. Because he essentially was like he has a story similar to Null from Marvel where everything was dark and he was just chilling, taking his naps, everything's cool in the dark, and then the Cosmic Turtle was just like, yeah, I want to make some shit over here and make things bright, and it's fucking up his piece. And he's like, you know what? You're fucking up my piece. I'm gonna go fuck up everything you just made. So he like downsized himself, put himself in a comet, and then flew to Earth. And then literally the equivalent of God is like, yeah, I'll teach everyone here telepathically how to beat him. And I'll make sure you guys know. Which is why, like, when you look at the way in that episode when they were putting the parts of his comet that he was flying, they put it in a turtle shells. Because a turtle, like throughout all the It movies, is like telepathically like talking to all the kids and showing them what to do. Hell, I think even in the original TV series special, like you actually saw the turtle like speaking to Beverly or some shit, if I remember right.
Well, yeah, it alludes to the turtle talking to Bill for some reason in the original series, but in the books it does. The books, the ritual is a much more bigger, important thing in the books as well. And Beverly is kind of like you hear Beverly hears like the whispers of the turtle in the books. So yeah, it's very real. I was confused as far as with this show. I thought that it was like only one section of the woods that Pennywise was contained into. I didn't realize that Derry itself was built in that. Basically, it was built in the inside that prison. Yeah.
He stays in that area because he can drag kids down there, and nobody will ever go there to hear the kids scream. Right. But he like moves around all the because keep in mind in the first episode, like he was in the sewer outside of that area, like in a regular suburban neighborhood when he got fucking well, not Billy, what's that kid's name? Georgie.
Maddie.
No, Georgie in the first movie.
Oh, in the movie, yeah.
Yeah, because he's like in the middle of this neighborhood and is far away from where his actual lair is.
It's tricky. That's the basic that his range that he has. Yeah, I feel you.
Again, the nigga is essentially a devil, so I'm just like. At this point, if the person you're trying to put him up against can't survive the planet exploding or the planet not existing, don't put him in a fight. Because the nigga is a celestial body and being that was around before the creation of everything else.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Through direct interference from God himself.
I don't think like some super Jeep like an Eisen could just, you're made from this material, so I'm gonna hit you with this material and you're done. Like
that's essentially putting any fight Superman's in, you just happen to have kryptonite around then at that point. Like y'all just happen to have this super rare thing.
In Derry, and the meteor landed in Derry.
Are we gonna put all the? I mean, if you're putting all the fights where he has a disadvantage, sure, yeah, let's do that. Where he put him in his prison.
He's only in Derry
for now. That's like for now. Like for it. So I'm trying to paint. How do I say this? If you're putting somebody in a fight, if you're doing like a versus battle, and every time they fight, the person's somewhere where they have a disadvantage, what kind of a versus battle is that? It's like I'm gonna put Superman on a fucking where he's at a red sun every time he fights, or he's gonna be somewhere where he's not powered up at.
But no, so usually what they do is when they do versus battles, they will for a versus battle they like Superman versus Batman. Batman always has a kryptonite ring on in his belt in case he has to go against Superman. So it's kind of it's not outside the realm of reason to have some preparation in battling a certain being. So obviously, if you put someone Vecna or you said Sukuna, whatever, up against Pennywise, if they have a little bit of the crystal in their hand, it's not outside the realm of reason as far as I know this dude's weakness. I'm gonna use it. It's not entirely impossible.
I mean, they only knew the weakness because they had to like invade the mind of the Native American tribe who kept that within themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Because at no other point before then or after did people just happen to come across this rare material. Because for one, all of it is buried deep. And then the one weapon that they had was like in a safe that this one lady passed down generation to generation. And also to Otis's point, to your point, whenever we do versus battles with like Jason or Freddy, people that only operate in Crystal Lake and Nightmare on Elm Street, they don't put all the fights there. They move them to different locations to kind of even the fights out.
Neutral ground. Yeah.
If you want to start it in a handicap, sure. If you need the handicap to beat him, you need this magical weapon to beat him. You can't beat him heads up. Cool, but I think that kind of goes to show how strong he is.
Well, part of I mean, we're getting too far off topic. It's funny.
Can go outside of Crystal Lake.
Yes, but think of it this way: like Freddy shouldn't be able to go outside your dreams. He is limited to your dreams. Is he strongest there? Yeah, he has an advantage there too. but he can't go outside of them. To the point where in some movies when they pull him out of dreams, he's basically just a dude with the claws. It's kind of that's how it is too. So it's kind of like you have to. There are some rules with characters, obviously.
But sure. Again, that's just me. That's why it's part of the reason why I don't even like versus battles to begin with. Because I'm just like, this shit don't make no sense to me with a lot of the versus stuff. Because it's when you don't set parameters, shit gets stupid like that, in my opinion. Yeah, we'll put him against Aizen, Spirit, who can do whatever and go wherever, and then Celestial Body, who through plot armor is restricted to one country ass town and can never beat 7-year-olds. But can, but chooses not to, I think, for whatever reason. I don't know. Like, he'll have them dead to rights, literally, and just will choose not to kill them. Like, I remember was it this? No, it was the first one where, like, all the kids are in the garage watching the film, and he, like, fucking projects out of the TV screen. All these kids are trapped in this little garage. You can legit eat them all, especially with the fact that you're, like, large right now, but you just choose to let them go. Why? Like, they're probably scared enough in that moment of you being fucking massive coming out of a projector screen.
I think it's a little. Part of it is my head canon has always been he enjoys fucking with people. There's a line from Dragon Ball Z in the Buu saga when Goku flies off to basically fuse with Vegeta, and Buu just stands there for a while and just starts laughing. He goes, "What are you doing? Leaving me?" He said, "That's fine. I have nothing else to do." He's literally killed everyone on Earth before that. All he has for entertainment is literally Goku. Yeah, I feel like Pennywise is similar in a sense that he's like, I can kill you now, sure, but I enjoy fucking with kids. Why not? I can do all kinds. I am a god. I can do whatever I want. I want to fuck with you today. I can kill you tomorrow, or I can eat you today. It's his sense of fun, basically. That's how I kind of see it too. It's not just like eating; it's about having fun.
A god falling victim to hubris. That's kind of poetic.
Yeah, literally, it's hubris. It's hubris.
I mean, that's the whole reason he's there to begin with, because he was like, "Oh, you're disturbing my fucking peace, so I'm going to go fuck with your peace."
Right.
Because keep in mind, this Pennywise we're seeing is like nerfed. He like legit nerfed himself so he could fit into this fuck. Because the nigga is legit like a mass like it's the Deadlights. That's what his name is. Oh my god, I was trying to figure out what his name was. The Deadlights. He's legit like the size of a celestial cosmic turtle, but like confined himself into a comet so that he could be on Earth.
Yeah. But it's trying to understand the reasoning and rationale behind the character this being is. And
if we're being honest, most of this shit is Stephen King plot holes. If we're keeping it 100% of a book, you made him this celestial body and celestial being, and somehow he's getting beat by 10-year-olds because this turtle is like not directly interfering with himself physically, but like telling people what to do, and they're somehow just like doing it without any issues. Like the fact this you told this Native American tribe how to beat him, and they were able to keep him there for 400 years before the white man came through.
Right. Yeah. By the way,
literally,
that turtle. That's the laziest turtle ever.
Bruh, that turtle is
worst. He's the worst.
I forgot what his name was. Again, Stephen King lore is just really fucking like. I feel like this is one of those situations where a writer wrote himself into a corner and is trying to figure out shit, because there's no way you tell me this celestial turtle and this celestial being is now only a part of this one multiverse, and then you have all these other random things in these. It's too much shit going on. It's too much shit. Anytime a writer gets into a multiverse is where I'm like, yeah, you're doing too much. You're doing too much.
It's rough because isn't he on? I thought the whole world is on the back of this turtle, which is kind of like, wait a minute, if that's the case,
I think he like threw it. He like threw the world up out of his stomach or something like that.
Okay, yeah. So he was the origin of it, but it's like he has more. He has more dominion than anything else there. If the turtle wanted to, he could be like, stop. He could just smack him away or something. He could stop him. So it's him choosing not to do his job, basically.
I guess there's some maybe even I don't. Y'all that read the books more intently, y'all let me know. But to my knowledge, they're like even in power, I guess. Because again, in the universe before Earth was made, it was just the turtle and him. It was just those two in the dark.
Yeah.
Again, the shit.
It's just Stephen King trying to over-explain how he couldn't write a proper defense to a ridiculously strong creature, but still hasn't lose to 11-year-olds.
He wrote that orgy though.
Yeah.
For some
he can write that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That,
bro, I don't know. I feel like literally you could replace Pennywise with like a boggart from Harry Potter and it would have made more sense because it's not a fucking celestial body. Same power set, same thing. Damn,
oh, you all right? You good?
his headphones fell off his head when he bent over.
Okay, yeah. The way he looked,
Embarrassment.
the way he looked afterwards was what got me. I was like, is he
No,
okay?
y'all. I know we've been rambling at this point a lot, y'all. But this show is the show itself is okay. I'm kind of with Otis to where the show is more like probably like a 7.5 to an 8 for me. I've enjoyed it week to week, but it's not like one of those things like I have to watch immediately. I'm enjoying it, and when I watch it, I'm enjoying talking about it as well. But it's not a must watch thing for me. I don't think there's too many like must watch things for me right now that's coming out currently. Am I?
No,
Maybe got Yakuza. I ain't gonna lie. Especially this recent episode I watched, the dub episode I watched. That's just gas. That's just some gas.
We're staying off topic. As we wrap up, as we kind of wind down with this, I agree that this show is definitely not perfect. It's far from perfect. It does have a lot of things that I like about it. I really do like a lot of the performances. I actually do like a lot of the main characters. I like the idea of seeing a genuinely diverse cast doing their thing. And it is interesting to see Pennywise taking the form or the Deadlights entity having to be something besides just that clown. I enjoy that type of stuff. So I'm still enjoying it. I feel like the mother transformation in episode 2 is still the highlight of the series for me personally.
That's peak, yeah.
That was a peak, but I'm still here for it.
It's probably one of the better like scenes I've seen in a horror movie or a horror series in a while. When it comes to like the practical effect for it.
It wasn't just the idea what it transformed into. It was the idea of a young girl. It's her fear. She's afraid that she of course killed her mom, and carrying that guilt around for it to manifest into that kind of a thing is like such a bizarrely fascinating, well done concept.
Yeah, there's a lot of unspoken depth there that you get just from like seeing what that, like the fact she's connected with the umbilical cord too.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But sure, I think your headphones were still on the other side of the room, Otis. But I think I gave this show like around 7.5 for me right now.
I was seeing about a 7.5.
I give it 7.5.
Like I said, you said I mean, this series is very inherently black, right? Like,
yeah,
a lot of what's happening within it is dealing with like Black lives and situations that were very prevalent in those time periods, and I like how HBO has been making that a emphasis for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I think that there are some strong points to it. It's just that my gripe is that with series like this is really heavily driven by the villain, and I'm not remotely intimidated by this villain.
He's barely around. Yeah, it's not really bad. Yeah, it's barely around.
Yeah.
When I look at this as not a horror movie, but maybe just like a drama, I think I enjoyed more because to Otis's point, like seeing how these black soldiers are showcased and how we're seeing the different aspects of the people in this town act. Like, cause we're seeing racism, but we're giving a reasoning of why, because racism in itself as a concept seems so extreme and crazy. And in this, at least in this town, it's explained through the fact that this celestial body is making people act out of character. So I think it's just like the metaphor of like, yeah, this thing is racism can only be explained by this fucking demonic creature making people act out of the norm and like beat up kids and do all kinds of crazy shit. And people are just watching it happen and being cool with it because they just think like it's the normal thing to do. Boys will be boys type shit.
Yeah. It's I actually agree. It is. If you look at it from the standpoint of a drama, like Otis also said, from the standpoint of minorities trying to figure out how to survive in the '60s in a rough time. Yeah, it does add some weight to it, as opposed to a full blown just horror. Where's the horror? Where the scares? Where's the gore porn? No, it's not there. This ain't the series for you. I get that.
We shall see though. But again, y'all, sorry for the rambling in this episode. This is very much so an impromptu episode. We were getting ready to go into the Thanksgiving holiday and realize that, we're all going to be, well, at least I'm going to be away from my setup with the family for the weekend, well, for most of the week through the weekend. So we try to get this thing out there to get something up. But again, thank you guys so much for watching this. And Again, if you guys feel any different than us, or maybe feel the same as us, and you let us know in the comment section below. And subscribe to the channel if you made it this far into the video, because obviously you've liked the podcast if you made it this far into the video. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and yeah. You have any other closing thoughts and sentiments before we get up out of here?
Watch the Mighty Nine. It is legitimate heat.
Ethan?
Thanks for y'all's time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, agreed. Again, this has been another episode of the Then and Not podcast, y'all. Captain Diesel, Professor E, King of the Comics, and the Big Black Muffin, Lelouch V. And remember, forever and always,
You're listening to the Then and Now podcast.
and we'll see you guys next time.
No, but for real though,